To the political scene now, the final of two local government election debates concluded Saturday evening as the two main political parties continue to push to convince Jamaicans to vote for their candidates. One of the issues raised was the concern about building approvals and developers varying from what was approved. Andre Jebinson reports.
As the Jamaican skyline continues to evolve, concerns linger about how some developers have been conducting their affairs. One of the complaints is that they sometimes would build contrary to the plans they submit to municipal corporations. For example, they'd submit a plan for single-bedroom dwellings and end up building two-bedroom units. During Saturday's debate, representatives from the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party were asked how they plan to deal with this issue.
We are not aware of any great number of development taking place like that. There are people who develop without going through the application process, and those persons there is in law an arrangement to deal with that.
Delroy Williams, who is also the mayor of Kingston, explained that the approval process includes pre- and post-construction inspections.
We have now put in place an inspection regime that allows us to inspect at each construction stage, each stage of construction work. So the developer cannot proceed to the next stage unless an inspection is done and a certificate of compliance is issued.
But for the PNP, the government's explanation is not working as smoothly as it is being made out to be.
But what this speaks to is the shortcomings of the municipal corporation and specifically the technical department. What is happening across the municipal corporations is that our technical departments are severely understaffed. And that poses a problem with enforcement issues that the municipal corporations must carry out.
That is why Andrew Swaby, the man who is favored to helm the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, should the PNP win, said that his party will invest in human resources to have enough people to do the jobs and to ensure the separation of duties.
It cannot be the same person who is recommending for the building approval is the same person who is required to do the enforcement. There goes the conflict of interest. We believe that, as my colleague has indicated earlier, that you widen it in terms of building approval.
The parties were also taken to task about binding builders to the development order on which they build.
I'm not sure where in council he sits, but there is something called a development order that the developers have to abide by. We also have what we call in some of the municipalities thus far, the local sustainable development plan that tells you where you can develop into what and what you can put in certain areas, light industrial, commercial, residential, you name it. So there is something in place. What we have to do now is to monitor and regulate so that we can have such plans executed in the different spaces.
In order for us to bind and to hold developers accountable, we need to look at strengthening the staff capacity at the municipal corporations. I said it earlier, and I can't say it any plainer. When we approve these development, the municipal corporation has the right to send its enforcement team, the municipal police, to these locations and bring those developers before the court.
There have also been calls for greater public engagement and transparency in relation to environmental impact assessment studies. The parties agreed to do more. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.